there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter, Historical Dummy. We've got another Degrassi video about the 5 things someone should or should not have done in regards to the shooting timeline. Last one was Raditch. Now this time it will be Spinner, Jay, and Alex. Now I decided to give Spinner and Jay 2 reasons and Alex 1. So I'm going to go in order from Alex to Jay to Spinner because Spinner had the bigger amount. So anyway, the main reason what Alex should or should not have done is she should have confessed her role. Now, of course, she was the one who did this paint and feathers prank and put it together. Spinner and Jay were assuring each other that the plan would work with Alex's help, and it did. She got the paint and feathers, got Rick right where he wants him, and Alex on the Monday after the shooting said that she felt nervous. She decides to talk to somebody, and Jay basically tells her, just be careful who you talk to and all that. As Not a Vampire put it in her video, she did a wide range video about Alex and her feelings, is that basically Alex, instead of confessing a role, just basically beat herself up and not plan ahead. She was doing well academically, but fell apart. I really feel bad for Alex's character. I mean, I know that Spinner and Jay probably kept her from incurring the wrath because they knew Alex, as student council vice president, would have lost a whole lot more than Spinner and Jay. But I mean, Alex could have confessed her role. I think at worst, Hatzilakos or Raditch probably would have stripped her of her vice presidency. So anyway, so basically Jay had 2 reasons what he should or should not have done. The one of them is he should not have led Rick along twice. Basically what ended up happening is that Jay was the catalyst for why Rick listened to them instead of his own intuition. During the tie break, the commercial break before the tie break, they see Jay and Spinner see Rick in the bathroom and basically talk to him and saying that you're saving your school with your smarts, everything is cool. Rick is happy, but in out of earshot, Spinner and Jay basically say that the paint and feathers is on because now Rick won't suspect a thing. And Spinner is, of course, saying, I don't think that's a good idea. Do you think it'll work? And Jay says, that's what you get for dating the student vice president. Don't ask questions. So basically, that was the first time about Jay. And the second thing about Jay is, they were in the bathroom. Rick just finished up cleaning, was just finishing up trying to talk to Paige, but Paige calmed him down, inadvertently, of course, because she didn't know Rick had a gun. So Rick was cleaning himself off. He was going to put his gun in his locker and basically said, okay, everything is fine. We'll see what happens. And then he runs into the stall, and then he hears, Spinner at first says, dude, Raditch is going to know. And Jay said, about Jimmy? Yeah. And then Jay pushes Spinner along, and Spinner, says all the stuff about Jimmy getting those questions wrong on purpose to make Rick the hero and to lead him along. Basically, Jay knew what he was doing. He knew he had to get Rick off the scent of any type of movement to get rid of him. I don't know what Jay probably would have done if Rick didn't take the hint this time. So anyway, and the main reason about Jay is he should have been so empathetic, mostly to Spinner and Alex, because it seemed like Jay basically was pushing Spinner and Alex along, not to put his name through the mud in all this. Jay's character was kind of awkward. At season 3, he basically took Sean away from Emma, if you will. He was part of the group to get rid of Rick. But the problem with Jay is that he had no connections with Terry and all that, whereas Paige and Spinner did have connections with Terry, and he was just basically there for the ride to destroy this kid. But the worst part is that Jay should have been have more empathy towards Spinner and Alex. Spinner, I think, knew what he was doing by confessing to the crime and pinning Jay because he knew that it was better to get Jay on it. To get Jay punished with him, too. I mean, Spinner did admit his guilt, but Jay basically was a piece of shit, if you will. And Jay's character took a little bit of a nosedive until he bloomed in like season 6 and 7. I mean, Jay helped Sean get a job at his garage when Sean got unfairly expelled, thanks to Peter's stuff. And Jay had a relationship with Manny, kind of weird. And he did officiate Spinner and Emma's marriage. But Jay unfortunately didn't go back to Degrassi because he figured that Degrassi just needed a scapegoat, and he probably thought that they put fear into Spinner. But the fact of the matter is that the school did know about Spinner's role in this after he tells Jimmy, and it spreads like wildfire. And Hatzalakos didn't even say anything about it. But anyway, um, the two reasons about Spinner is Spinner should not have been bullied by Jay. And basically, this is just with the empathy and all that. That Spinner should have, like, taken charge of it. He should not have had Jay push him around. Basically, that's why Spinner fingered Jay as well in the incident when he told Hatzalakos, was that basically he had to confess. Spinner could have also said Alex, but I think he had empathy for her. And the fact of the matter is that Spinner figured that, Alex didn't know about the fact that the two guys were trying to take the heat off themselves and put it on Jimmy. And of course, the main reason why, main reason with Spinner is that he should have confessed to the bathroom incident right away. Spinner was not dumb. Like, he was portrayed as probably being a little bit dumb and all that, especially with Miss Kwan's English class. But you know what? Spinner knew it. When Jay and Alex said, dude, we thought you were shot. Spinner's like, he shot Jimmy. We pinned everything on Jimmy. They're going to know. They're going to know. Spinner knew in his head that by them pretending that it was Jimmy, like, they didn't know they had that Rick had a gun. Fair enough. But the worst part about this is that, Spinner had the foresight and we wanted to tell somebody. Jay said, either way, like, even if you don't tell on Jimmy, he was your best friend. We did the world a favor. Rick is dead. And of course, the lack of empathy for Jay and all that. Spinner had loads of guilt. Didn't even visit Jimmy in the hospital. And Jimmy did realize that. Basically, Jimmy knew that Spinner would not want to see Jimmy in the hospital. Spinner did the right thing by confessing to Jimmy. Even though Jimmy might think it's selfish, Spinner had to do it. He had to confess because maybe he just thought, I helped Jimmy so much, I might as well tell him. And that's what he did. He did confess to Hatzalakos and all of them. But, Spinner, the best thing about Spinner is that he tried to redeem himself, whereas Jay never tried to redeem himself, and Alex was a little bit more forlorn. So that's kind of weird, in a way. So that's Jay and Alex and Spinner in a sense. There'll be another one coming up shortly.